Dixon, thank you so much for joining us. I wonder if you could update us on the plans. There's a 21-day mourning period. Could you tell us anything more about that, around funeral arrangements, and how Kenneth Kaunda is going to be laid to rest?
I think the first highlight is that today the president of Zambia visited the house of the former President Kaunda, who passed away yesterday. He signed a book of condolences and delivered an address to the nation in which he expressed his sadness on the death of the founding president. Yesterday declared 21 days of national mourning. The full program is not yet out, but as per procedure in Zambia, the defense forces will take charge of the funeral. They should be able to prepare the burial site. We have a Heroes Center, or what they call Embassy Park, where former presidents are buried. So we have to hear whether the plans would be him buried there, though indications are that he had always wanted to be buried in his home village in the northern part of the country. So we'll have to get the details once the government has finalized with the family.
Of course, we're seeing in these pandemic times that massive funerals, normally full honour funerals, are being massively scaled down because of COVID-19. Can you tell us whether that's likely to be the case in Zambia as well? How badly has the pandemic hit?
Well, in the last 2 weeks, it has been quite terrible. We are recording quite high numbers of cases. Just alone today, we've recorded over 20 deaths in the country. The president did indicate in the statement yesterday that in mourning Dr. Kaunda, the country will still have to follow the guidelines that have been given for funerals, regardless of the status. So we are yet to see how they're going to manage this funeral, because the guidelines which was given is to allow only 50 people to attend a burial of any person. But given the circumstances and that Dr. Kaunda is not an ordinary person, we expect that the 50 number may be expanded to accommodate foreign dignitaries who may wish to travel and pay the last respect. But the pandemic in the last few days has been very terrible in Zambia.
It is such a very difficult time. I wonder if you could talk to us a little bit more about how the people of Zambia have responded to the news of the passing of Kenneth Kaunda. What are people saying about him?
It came unexpected because Dr. Kaunda has always been a very healthy person despite being of old age. And so most people on the streets, they're all talking about his death. So far, his pictures are being exchanged, WhatsApp groups are all sharing all his historical pictures from the time he was president to the time he died. So everybody is really in a sober mood, and they are all correcting the part which they can remember Dr. Kaunda played while he was president, as well as when he was a former president. He became a father figure that even the negatives which was attributed to him completely disappeared in his later years. So everybody is remembering him in a very positive manner.
All right, so they're remembering all the good stuff. I wonder if you could tell us a little bit about democracy and the state of politics in Zambia today. He certainly, as you know, he did try to establish a one-party state at some point, but he did back down from that. And in 1991, he was voted out of power. He stepped down, and as you say, the good is being remembered now. But in terms of politics today in Zambia, how is the country doing?
I mean, we must admit that after the one-party state was abolished by Dr. Kaunda in 1991, Zambia has enjoyed quite a free democracy, and as we are speaking, we are in actually a 3-month campaign period heading to the presidential and general election scheduled in August. And so campaigns were all in full throttle until yesterday when Dr. Kaunda has died. The major opposition political party has announced today that they are stopping all campaign activities to accommodate the national mourning of 21 days, but also to honor Dr. Kaunda. The ruling party were expecting also to follow suit because it's culturally unacceptable in Zambia for people to be dancing and singing during a funeral of such a very respectable figure. So the country will still proceed with elections in August, regardless of the death of Dr. Kaunda, but that will be slightly be affected with a 21 days national mourning, which you actually meant that campaigns will be slowed down. But the democracy in Zambia is thriving.
Well, thank you so much for chatting to us this evening live from Lusaka. Zambian journalist Dixon Jere there.